let's look at the top stories. President Museveni advises DRC to dialogue with MP3 to end crisis. In Kotido, government offers food to avert starvation in Karamoja. And in health, Royal Dutch government donates to Uganda's health and water sector. And in sports, NCBA continues investment in golf. This is news tonight as we start off with the presidential press unit. President Yoweri Kaguta has received a special message from His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi Tshilombo, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The message was delivered by a Congolese delegate led by the Senior Minister of Works, Alex Muvunyi, at State House in Entebbe.
Comme vous pouvez l'imaginer,
our aim is, as maybe you can know it,
c'est la crise sécuritaire qui sévit aujourd'hui dans notre pays.
It's about the crisis, security crisis we have in our country.
Avec la recrudescence du conflit armé avec le M23.
All you know about the army conflict with the M23.
Une recrudescence du conflit où nous constatons.
Sometimes in the neighboring countries also.
Ben aussi dans des pays voisins aussi.
If you want to fight and win,
si tu veux vraiment te battre et gagner,
you must fight a just war.
Tu dois faire la guerre avec une guerre juste.
Guerre juste. So, before we get involved in any conflict,
avant de se mettre à se mêler dans un conflit,
we look at because normally the war is sometimes, most of the time, from politics.
Souvent les guerres viennent de la politique.
Then we look at the issues.
Et puis vous regardez les sujets.
And then we decide what to do.
Et maintenant vous décidez qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire.
Now, the COVID-19 task force has met to review the status report and give audience to the country in the area of management for this particular pandemic. It recommended, among others, closure of the testing lab located at Entebbe International Airport.
The COVID-19 task force sitting in Kampala has implored Ugandans to embrace vaccines and get booster shots for more effective control of the pandemic. The Ministry of Health is racing against time to ensure the remaining vaccines are consumed before the expiry date. A status report presented in the meeting indicated a marked fall in COVID-19 cases, signaling the containment of the pandemic.
I want to thank you for your efforts, because we are where we are because of your efforts. I want to thank the Ministry of Health for the resilience and the guidance you have given us and the President, and all of you honorable colleagues. I want us, after COVID, to focus on other sicknesses, on other diseases like malaria. After COVID, we need to refocus our energy and efforts towards that and fight it the way we have fought COVID.
Other salient issues discussed included whether or not to close the COVID-19 testing laboratory at Entebbe International Airport. It was resolved that this laboratory be closed since testing at the airport before departure was no longer a requirement.
I want to thank all of you for the efforts in controlling the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, Right Honorable Prime Minister, we are not doing so badly because of the efforts that we have put in. and the cases are not rising exponentially. At least the positivity rate has remained low. In spite of the fact that it started rising, it seems to be coming down. We shall hear from the incident commander. I want to thank you for your efforts. I have heard, I have followed you wherever you go. You talk about vaccination. Thank you very much. And I want to...
The meeting also agreed that there is need for increased sensitization and engagement with the population about COVID-19.
The answer to this is continuous sensitization so that our people are mobilized to go and get vaccinated.
The reason why we should increase vaccination is not only preventing illnesses, but also trying to prevent other variants coming on so that we do not go back into where we were. And part of the problem we are having globally, not only in Uganda, the amount of tests we are doing is not optimal.
The report about money collected from the public to support COVID-19 management was deferred. The Minister for Finance, Matia Kasaija, said a comprehensive report will be provided at a later date. Kasaija also guided on what business should be done to recover from COVID-19 effects.
The impression I've seen is that we must be back where we were before. We shall get there, but we shall get there progressively. You know, it's like when you fall sick, they take you to hospital. Then you recover, but you don't recover fully. So there is a period of recapitulation or something like that. You looked at, yes, please. For the small businesses, there is money that is in the bank waiting for them. For the medium and the large ones, there is money in Uganda Development Bank and other financial institutions. Farmers, there is a fund for you. PDM now also has come.
Much as the order to put on masks was lifted, the task force advised that public should continue putting them on until such a time when the country achieves the recommended 70% of people vaccinated.
Putting on masks is healthy. It has helped us to control flu. When you look around, people don't have flu. And it also protects us. But as you have said, the population dumped the masks long ago. It is us, the working class, who have the masks, but we are also in the age brackets that is the dangerous age brackets. We need to keep ourselves healthy. Try as much as possible to keep on your masks, and unless you are, of course, outside, and get boosted. We have booster doses for all of you. You can access it from KCCA near here, Makerere University Hospital, any hospital, whether Mulago, public, private, wherever you want to go.
Cases of side effects of COVID-19 vaccination and other claims that the vaccines were brought to control population growth have greatly affected vaccination uptake in the country.
22 people recently died in Kotido sub-county after eating cassava recently, while several others have died since January due to famine. The chairperson, Kotido District, Paul Lomar Loti, says there is urgent need for food relief to the area in order to prevent further deaths occasioned by lack of food due to the extended dry spell.
While cassava was buried.
Famine is now the leading cause of deaths in Karamoja. According to media reports from the sub-region, communities are now depending on wild greens and wild fruits for a meal. Some old people have reportedly been abandoned by the relatives who reportedly migrated to districts like Abim and Teso in search for food.
5 years, those are the children, and then above 75 years. Above 75 years, they can no longer go far. Neither can they come and line and struggle for food when the food distribution is on. From 1 year to 5 years, they do not go to school. They are very young. They are at home, so they are also prone to hunger. Now, above 5 years, they are lucky that UNICEF is giving food to the schools.
Mostly are the elderly women and some breastfeeding women. Then the rest are 30 are men. and especially these are elders. Most of them are elders.
Millet and sorghum crops are being harvested before ripening due to famine.
They scratch, they grind just for porridge for children.
What of them?
For them, they just stay when they get greens once in a while. And they say you cannot keep on eating greens for 3 days. You will die.
Some elderly persons are now surviving on local brewed drinks. Other people have resorted to eating wild greens and fruits, which has so far claimed 22 lives from a village in Kotido sub-county.
Harvesting to be eaten like this. They will boil it.
Amaranthus.
The wild amaranthus. They will boil it the way it is and eat it direct because there is nothing like posho which will accompany it.
Children and grandchildren. She's here trying to sieve the wild seeds that are like a finger millet in order to get some seeds and grind porridge for these other children here.
Kotido chairperson Paul Lomor Lote says several people have died of hunger since February this year.
Up to today, we have lost close to 1,000 people as Kotido district. 330 people from Rengin and Longaroy sub-county respectively. Kacheri Town Council and Kacheri sub-county, we have registered death of 316 people. Kapeta sub-county, as of today, 89 people.
Food insecurity in the region is due to prolonged drought, which escalated crop failure and insecurity.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say to register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. Now, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Mama Naka, give me some chips. Add sausage, kebab, and please don't forget tomato sauce.
Mama Nak, serve me boiled cassava. Add some yam, little matoke, and I want more greens. You know, greens are good for my body.
But you man also you too stingy. You're always eating cassava greens. When will you ever eat on your money?
You see, my friend, eating organic food is good. That food is so important for our bodies. And I advise you too, my friend. Please, stop eating chemically generated foods.
Pelam Uganda, the co-host of the Knowledge Hub for Organic Agriculture in Eastern Africa, KHEA, under the lead coordinating agency, BioVision Africa Trust Kenya, has launched a hashtag Know What You Eat campaign with the objective of raising awareness on the dangers of consuming inorganic products. For more information, visit www.pelamuganda.org or visit KHEA social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Know What It campaign is brought to you by Pelam Uganda, BioVision Africa, KHEA.
We apologize for that technical problem. Now, moving on, President Yoweri Museveni has defended Uganda's statistics that recently rated the country's economy at a level of middle income. Museveni says Uganda's GDP per capita stands at $1,043, required by Uganda to stay at the level for at least 3 years. Before official confirmation to the middle income status. While inaugurating the Public Policy Executive Oversight Forum, APEX, President Museveni appealed to investors not to succumb to corruption tendencies as a way of securing contracts.
That continuous investment is one of the avenues that will drive Uganda's economic agenda, is one fact that the country needs to embrace. This is one of the messages that the Fountain of Honor carried for vanguards of development gathered at Kololo ceremonial grounds. Museveni was here to inaugurate the Public Policy Executive Oversight Forum, APEX.
The primary monitors are really the Office of the Prime Minister, the Office of the Presidency, through this Minister of One.
In driving the country's development agenda, corruption remains one of the stumbling blocks. This unfortunately has affected investment, to which Museveni suggests a solution.
You see, the big problem are the business people also, and the investors. They think that if you don't bribe, you will not get, your plan will not go through. Don't do that. Those thieves have no power. NIM is the one with power. They only steal because we don't know. The moment we know, you will see.
Museveni lauds Office of the President for taking the role of economic monitoring a notch higher, aligning it with the APEX platform framework.
I think the problem was that this Office of One was not being used fully. The people who were there, they were not. It's a very important ministry, but people were neglecting it. I don't know why. It's very powerful because you go, as long as you have got fuel, you drive, you have all the information in your data. There's a plan here for the health center city. Where is it? Very easy.
With this on course, Uganda will maintain its middle income status, which he says the country has already attained.
The economy is growing. Our data about our country is that we are now at a GDP per capita of $1,046, and that is already in the middle income bracket. But we need to stay there for 3 more years or go up to be declared officially.
Earlier, State Minister for Economic Monitoring, Peter Ogwang, highlighted strides made In the 23 directives made by the President as at 31st December 2021.
So days for us to eat government money and don't account and don't follow up are over. I call upon you to commit to work for your government so that we can help our people achieve the desired goal of moving into a middle income status.
All ministers agree that this is a step in the right direction, extending services closer to the people as well as steering economic development.
It has identified the challenges, it has made the recommendations. So let us really embrace it for us to improve on service delivery.
And I also entice other politicians, right from the LOC5 councillors and my fellow MPs, to make sure we do the work jointly. Cohesion is the way to go, and the value for money is what we must stress.
The message is outside there, that the people, the Ugandans, should not accept to bribe anybody who wants to give them any contract. So we need to work together with fellow citizens so that we fight corruption with this Apex platform.
The Public Policy Executive Oversight Forum Apex was inaugurated under the theme, Taking Leadership, Public Policy Management and Promotion of Good Governance Practices. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now over to Gulu, where enterprises from northern Uganda and West Nile region that seek testing services from UNBS central laboratories in Kampala can now get the services from the new Gulu Regional Food Safety Lab. The new testing facility commissioned in Gulu City will provide conformity assessment services to enterprises and industries involved in processing and value addition to ensure products meet the minimum quality standards being introduced onto the market.
Uganda National Bureau of Standards' new Gulu Regional Testing Laboratory brings testing services closer to the people of northern Uganda with a goal of boosting trade and consumer protection.
This is going to further strengthen UNBS efforts of monitoring the quality and safety of products on the market meant for both local consumption and for export.
Standards are now being used as barrier to trade, barrier to export. So any product certified by the Bureau should now be able to freely access international market. And we look forward for our enterprises to benefit from foreign exchange, but most importantly for Ugandans to begin to consume quality products and avoid diseases associated with eating bad food.
With a US $4.5 million funding from the Danish government through Trademark East Africa, the development partners are optimistic that the facilities will help open up more business opportunities for manufacturers in the north, east and western Uganda. The Gulu Lab is one of the 3 decentralized facilities that will be commissioned in the course of the year.
Denmark does this because we believe it's important to everyday Ugandans. And we should not forget that the people of Uganda are among the most industrious and entrepreneurial people on this continent. Together with Trademark East Africa and UNBS, we want to prove that trade and commerce benefits everybody.
Not far from here, we're doing a logistics hub that will come on board by the end of this year. We're now, the construction was completed. We're now in the process of procuring, working with the government of Uganda, Ministry of Works and Transport and Uganda Railways Corporation. We are in the process of procuring a concessionaire to operate and manage the hub. That will come on board by October this year.
Regional laboratories come with immense benefits, and these include reducing turnaround time for samples analysis, cutting cost of doing business for SMEs and industries, and minimizing sample abuse. The new development in a region that is steadily recovering from previous conflicts that destroyed the social and economic setup is a step in the right direction.
We are going to make sure that where the gaps are, we are going to bridge it.
Us as the local leaders, we are going to concentrate in mobilization of our local community so that they make good use of this laboratory. Since the laboratory is here, There is now no excuses. We must make good use of it.
The UNBS labs fits within the Parish Development Model Program, where testing services will be easily accessed by the business community and the micro, small and medium enterprises. Dennis Igor in Gulu City.
And now into health, the Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Patricia Lukoma, has urged Ministry of Health and National Water and Sewerage Corporation, among others, to ensure timely and speedy implementation of projects to enable the country realize their benefits. While signing two grant agreements of 214.5 billion Ugandan shillings to the Ministry of Health and 735,000 for National Water and Sewerage Corporation, Patricia Lukoma said these projects should be completed within 2 to 3 years.
The Netherlands government has supported Uganda Ministry of Health with a grant of 214.5 billion to help improve and strengthen capacity building of 16 regional referral hospitals. These funds will also cover the feasibility study to assess the needs and ensure that the health system is fully functional. The Director, Health Services, Ministry of Health, Dr. Henry Mwebesa, said the grant will help improve referral hospitals in terms of specialized equipment, maternal and child care services, and accidents and emergency services.
You are aware that currently the dialysis services available in this country are only available in Kampala. And we really would want to move these services to up country. When you look at the maternal and child health care services, you are looking at that. This is one of the areas where, as a country, even if we have made progress, but we are still having challenges on the side of maternal mortality, which is still remains high. So really that if we work with, in addition to the already established services of emergency medical services, we think that if patients are able to access services timely in the regional referral hospitals, then it can be able to do it.
The signing was between the Minister for Finance, Patricia Lukoma, and Netherlands Ambassador to Uganda, Karin Boven. The two grant agreements also include 735,000 euros to support feasibility studies for the improvement of fecal-sludge management in Greater Kampala metropolitan area.
There is a problem of slow implementation of projects. We suffer here in the Ministry of Finance. We go to borrow, we go to beg, we go not. Money comes, we send it to you. 2-3 years down the road, the project is not yet finished. Even in some cases, it's not yet started. I know that they are just for show. They are there to improve the quality of life of all the people who are involved. So, 2-3 years from now on, if I hear that these programs are not moving, we are debating something somewhere. Then we shall see on the accounting officer and the officer the responsible.
Karin Boven said the fecal-sludge grant will go a long way to ensure sustainable use and management of the resource, while the referral hospital grant complements earlier grants.
The referral hospital grant complements earlier efforts by the Netherlands that supported health infrastructure in Ugandan referral hospitals under the ORET program. And the fecal sludge management grant introduces the well-known circular economy approach that fosters sustainable use and management of resources.
The Minister of Finance assured the Netherlands government that funds will be accounted for within the jointly agreed Government of Uganda Development Partner Management and Accountability Framework. I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisia in Kampala.
Thank you very much there, Nafka Farida. Now over to NRM. EARLA, the section of NRM members have sued the National Resistance Movement and the NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tanga Odoi, challenging the Central Executive Committee decision of retaining the 6 NRM EARLA incumbents without competition. The aggrieved NRM EARLA aspirants claim that SEC decision compromised their right and interest to participate in the East African Legislative Assembly.
Aggrieved National Resistance members who were interested in competing for ERA slots but were unable following the Central Executive Committee decision to give a leeway to incumbents to stay in Arusha-based parliament are now seeking court redress after the expiry of the 3 days ultimatum given to the party. Thursday morning, a section of NRM members have sued the National Resistance Movement and the NRM Electoral Commission chairperson, Dr. Tango Odoi, challenging the Central Executive Committee decision. Among those who filed the petition include Niwawine Jesse, Maganda Julius, Mivre Ronald Musoke, Ruthi Kalungi Tukaire, Issa Kato, and Asimwe Maiko.
The 3 days expired yesterday, close of business. True to our word, we are here to file a case. We simply seek justice and demand that the rule of law is followed by our party leadership. We are not going to allow to set a precedence where ring fencing is becoming constitutional.
The NRM members of parliament are not happy. They are denying them a right to vote. We have been campaigning for 2 years. We have spent a lot of money.
Party members say the decision by the NRM SEC infringes on their rights to democracy.
The synopsis of the SEC decision on Friday is unconstitutional, has no basis.
The resolution is in blatant disregard of Article 48(2) of the Constitution of the NRM that requires the party to carry out primary elections.
We don't see why they called us to express interest to contest, and yet they had ring-fenced the 6 slots.
We want justice, we want NRM to look onto this thing, then they compensate us the lost time.
The NRM's ERA aspirants in courts were led by their lawyer, Robert Rutaro, who highlighted to UBC TV some of the prayers his clients want court to address.
We are asking court to quash the decision of the SEC of the NRM, set it aside, and order or compel the NRM Electoral Commission to conduct elections. The other application is an interim order in which we are seeking court to freeze all activity going on in the NRM to do with ERA elections.
The 6 incumbent names, which were seconded by NRM SEC, include Jojo Odong, Dennis Namara, James Kakoza, Mary Mujenyi, Rosa Cole, and Paul Musamali. In another development, vendors and business owners conducting business within Makerere University premises have been asked to vacate. It's against this backdrop, the vendors within Makerere University under their umbrella, Makerere Business Owners Association, have asked the university to cease its illegal eviction.
We wrote a letter seeking the decision of the university to be rescinded. Let them go back, make a decision that is legal. Let them give them reasonable time to vacate if they are to vacate, or they leave alone the issue of vacating.
Makerere University vendors, who are alleged to have agreed with the university management to work within the campus premises, also raised concern of the time they were given to vacate this place.
A person to be evicted at least should be given notice, but there was nothing like that. We have not caused any harm to the university. We have enjoyed a very good relationship with the university.
Now they want the university management to reverse its decision. Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
The Inspectorate of Government has awarded 36 community monitoring groups in Masindi for enhancing transparency and monitoring government programs. Handing over the certificates, the Deputy Inspector General of Government, Patricia Okiria, said engaging the public is a new strategy set by the Inspectorate in order to prevent corruption because they are the victims.
The Inspectorate of Government has embarked on empowering masses with knowledge on fighting corruption. This has been disclosed by the Deputy Inspector General of Government, Patricia Okiria, during an awarding ceremony of the best community monitoring groups in Mwira Village, Mwira Sub-County, Masindi District. Patricia Okiria said the masses play a vital role in promoting accountability and transparency.
The fight against corruption is brought to the community because they are the victims of corruption. We have anti-corruption institutions, we have the legal and policy framework, an institutional framework, but corruption has continued to increase and escalate. And we have recently, as the new leadership in the IG, come up with a new strategy of prevention. And then we want the people to own the war against corruption. So bringing it to the community is a way of bringing them on board. Because at the end of the day, they are the people who go to the health center and find no drugs.
The Deputy Inspector General of Government asked community monitoring groups to now focus on monitoring the use of parish development model funds for the development of their areas.
So there are covert ways of reporting these cases anonymously or individually, and then you protect your cover.
Members of community monitoring groups, however, expressed challenges of segregation, non-compliance from stakeholders, and intimidation.
Sometimes we get some threats from these heads of government projects. They say, you are reporting us and you are gaining nothing. No one will touch on us.
We went to a certain hospital. We wanted to talk to the in-charge. The in-charge refused to talk to us. He was like, we don't have any authority to interview him.
Legislators say they have also brought civil society organizations who have encouraged the masses to carry on with monitoring government programs.
Because of these community facilitators who have been able to achieve a lot, there is no anywhere in any watershed where we did not register supply of maybe equipment or supply of any facilities from NUSAF, and they closely monitored the procurement process.
The Inspectorate has embarked on strengthening transparency, accountability and anti-corruption that focuses on the cure rather than prevention of corruption. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
And as we end the first segment, after nullifying the victory of Derek Orone, who was the Member of Parliament for Gogonyo County and Palliser District, National Resistance Movement has moved to reclaim its victory. National Resistance Movement Director in charge of mobilization, Rosemary Nansuga Seninde, has camped in Palliser to reconcile the people. At a meeting convened at Gogonyo Sep County headquarters, Seninde urged interim supporters to remain united to guarantee the party's victory.
There is just internal bickering, and it's the fights are among NRM people. There isn't opposition, and it's somehow based on tribal sentiments. So our work is to make sure that we encourage these people to remember that we are brothers and sisters. And this business of fighting on tribal basis is very wrong. And this is not the principle of the NRM party. The NRM government brought peace and security in this country to guard against all these kind of divisions. So we cannot encourage this. The president managed to meet the independent in Palliser, the one who wants to stand in Palliser, and he actually requested him to step aside because the party is bigger than any one of us. So I believe he will adhere to the guideline or the guidance of the president. Now, as we speak, Soroti is also going on because as a party, we already guided Soroti, we already set our campaign structures, and of course work is going on in Soroti. So being here in Palliser does not mean work is not going on in Soroti. As I also explained, Soro is also going on, and in Kasese we are also going to enter there and be able to guide on how we want the election to take place. I want to confirm that the people in all these areas where we are going to have these by-elections must remember that there are guidelines set by the Independent Electoral Commission.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using 2 Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175 hash or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Princess! Is there a problem? Honey, relax. There'll be no more worries about SMSs, phone calls, sijui data, because Daddy has got an Airtel smart plan. There is even Airtel TV. It means no worries.
Enjoy life worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans. Shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay.
Water gives life. Water is life. But not all water is created equal. Refresh yourself with the new quality Nirvana packaged drinking water and fuel you and your passion to go further in life.
Visit a shop near you and grab a 250 ml at 500 shillings, 500 ml at 1,000 shillings, 1.5 liters at 2,000 shillings, or the 20-liter jumbo bottle at 19,000 shillings. Nirvana is a product of Crown Beverages Limited, the makers of Pepsi products.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Welcome back from that short break. Now, American actor Terrence has hailed President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for fostering peace in Uganda and Africa, which in the end has facilitated development and preservation of culture and environment. Terrence has this Thursday kicked off a national world tour beginning with the Western Uganda, as we hear more in this report.
Having landed in the country over the weekend, American actor Terrence Howard and wife Maya are still enjoying the good Ugandan environment. At exactly 4 p.m., this Aerolink chartered plane touched Nyakasharira airfield running way in Mbarara City. On board was Terrence, wife and other members. They were received by a Ugandan delegation led by Florence Tumwebaze, the wife to the Agriculture Minister, Frank Tumwebaze. From the airfield, the team was led to Embrora Farm Lodge. Here, they were treated to a traditional dance welcome. Terrence not only enjoyed the interlude, but equally joined. At Embrara, it is always the norm for visitors to tour around. Late evening, Terrence and team, in company of the Agriculture Minister Frank Tumwebaze, taken for cattle keeping.
So if you are not used to these cows, you are not the owner, they will turn wild. So they will know the smell of the owner, they will know how you call them, there's a voice.
Like your cat.
Yeah, really. So if a stranger comes, oh, it's like a wild animal running out of the jungle.
They will run from
yes,
them.
But now why these ones they are able to accept you? It's because they are used to this, and you know, and that's the difference between the Ankore. We call these the Ankore longhorned cows and the
How
Frisian
many
cows.
of them curl their horns that way? How many of their horns actually end up?
It depends on the breed. It depends on the mother. It depends on the father.
The atmosphere, nature and hospitality left Terrence with a positive conclusion about Uganda and its leadership.
It's paradise. It's the Garden of Eden, you know, with human influence, with cooperative relationships between the animals and the land and the people that are in the office. You know, one of the things I'd heard about, you know, the president being in office for so long, and oftentimes that comes with abuse of power, but what he's done, he's literally the father of this beautiful place that we're not allowed to see this in the U.S. ever. We don't see this. We don't see the beauty of Uganda. We don't know how welcoming it is and the possibilities that will come from this place. We're home.
Great, thank you.
The trail will be on until Saturday this week, as the pair is set to meet the King Oyo in Fort Portal City and later enjoy chimpanzee trekking in Kibale district. Robert Onyango and Sharon Chomugisha, UBC News.
It's interesting. They said Uganda is the Garden of Eden with human experience. Now, government, through the National Planning Authority, has commissioned the mid-term review of the National Development Plan 3 and to end the evaluation of the National Development Plan 2. State Minister for Planning, Amos Lugolobi, who officiated the launch, revealed the need to integrate more into the national priorities and trade to regain economic recovery.
To launch the mid-term review of the third National Development Plan and the end evaluation of the second National Development Plan for God and my country.
National Development Plan 3 midterm review is a requirement provided for in the Comprehensive National Development Planning Framework to reflect on the progress, situations and challenges regarding execution. This review looks at the policies and strategies, program design, and the institutional framework.
I expect this midterm review to give us areas where we improve, but not reverse.
At the onset of the NDP 3 implementation, The country was struck by COVID-19, which constrained the implementation, distorting the performance.
So whereas the NDP3 anticipated and integrated the COVID-19 risks to the economy, the effects were not fully estimated at that time, because the effects turned out to be bigger than originally expected.
State Minister for Planning, Amos Lugolovi, while launching the NDP3 midterm review, asked for the redirecting of the country towards national priorities for fast recovery of the economy.
We actually want to review the macroeconomic framework. The macroeconomic framework, sets the agenda. It's within that framework that you say we shall invest so much money in terms of public spending, and we shall invest that money in these programs.
Stakeholders are now being asked to fully participate in order to generate evidence-based opinions.
So as we plan, we should not forget that we need to integrate all the relevant pieces together, the relevant aspects together, to create viable value chains. Previously, our planning had been characterized by a very big weakness of planning for production, and we forget to plan for marketing, as if marketing is not important.
Is planned to be completed by the end of September 2022. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Now, the delays to pass the National Peace Building and Conflict Transformation Policy into law escalates the cases of unsolved conflicts at all levels. This was observed by stakeholders and peace building and conflict transforming at a technical review meeting organized by Safer World and partners in Kampala.
Societies under Safe World have expressed concern over delays to pass the National Peace Building and Conflict Transformation Policy into law.
I want this policy passed or made into law because there are so many delays in the process of the law. And I think it's because there has not been any proper apportioning of responsibilities, not division of labor, as it were.
This process can be considered for this session of Parliament. They have set up 64 bills to put before Parliament. We want them to include the 65th one. Passing the National Peace Policy Bill should be one of the considerations of Parliament. The session which started last week.
The structures that need to be in place.
This was disclosed during a high-level national dialogue held at Imperial Royal, Kampala.
And so that we are able to bring a peace, first of all, that is not only tribal, which also is not a sustainable peace, but it's a peace for all Ugandans, which we can all own.
At the technical review meeting, it was also observed that lack of the policy guidelines to coordinate peace building and conflict transformation still remains a fundamental problem in Uganda.
Ensure that we live as one country, that we are peaceful, and that we drive towards development and ensuring that there's coexistence and cohesion in the country.
The policy that is intended to provide a mechanism for coordination and building synergy among stakeholders involved in peace building and conflict transformation largely remains dormant. Joseph Moyingo, UBC News.
Malago National Referral Hospital has opened a stimulation training center to impart skills among medical workers with a laparoscopic surgery knowledge. Established at a cost of 200 million Ugandan shillings, the center has been supported by Korean International Cooperation Agency.
Laparoscopic surgery is a procedure that allows a surgeon to access the inside of a person without making a significant cut. The initiative is reportedly the modern type of surgery being adopted worldwide. Mulago National Referral Hospital, with support from the Korea International Cooperation Agency, has opened a simulation training center for the country like Uganda to have more specialists. Here, doctors train on dummy objects instead of a live human being.
Teaching on a live patient is very difficult. But now when we have this simulation center, it will be easy to train trainees to do the procedure, and by the time they go to a live patient, it will be easier for them to perform those procedures.
When you use a dummy or a simulator, we don't have any limitation to train the trainee. It can be doctor or physicians or postgraduate student, anyone. So this is a very good start for Ugandan doctors to start minimally invasive surgery efficiently.
In a month's time, Mulago National Referral Hospital operates on close to 36 patients that involves access to the internal organs.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
And in sports, Ugandan amateur golf players are bracing for the 10th leg of the ongoing 2022 NCBA Bank Golf Series, which will be hosted at the Par 72 Uganda Golf Club, Kitante. More than 150 golfers have been drawn to the tee-off at the evergreen 18-hole Kitante Golf Course, where they will be aiming to book spots to play at the grand finale in December at the prestigious Muthaiga Golf Club in Nairobi. Sponsors and CBA Bank have upped their stakes with a chance to win a car for anyone who will score a hole in one at a particular hole that will be made known before the tee-off on Saturday. These golf series have been hosted in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, and after the grand finale in December, they will have the top 4 win on all expenses paid tour of the Fan Court Golf Estate in South Africa. The latest NCBA sponsorship to golf follows, one of which they have offered to junior tournament early this year that attracted more than 95 junior golfers spread across 7 nationalities. And that brings us to the end of news tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of us. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and Elizabeth Nakakone has been with me on sign language. Stay tuned.